Hey everybody, Bob Busker here again with ThinkComputers, and today we're unboxing the Corsair Carbide Series 400R mid-tower. For the most part, Corsair has put out high-end mid-towers and full-tower cases, nothing that really appeals to a budget PC, but this is their first sub $100 case, so we're going to open it up today and see what it looks like. Getting this out of the box should be fairly simple. Like most cases, you just go ahead and cut both sides and dump the box, or dump the case out, I mean. Inside, as most cases should come, you have a large piece of styrofoam protecting the case, so let's take that out. And as I always say, the easiest way to get a case out is by simply flipping it over. And voila, there's your case. As you can see, it's protected with plastic and everything. Alright, so looking at the case, it doesn't have anything that really pops out and screams at you. It's not something that you would walk by at a LAN party and be like, wow, what is that? Pretty simple design. Obviously, it's a budget case, so they're not going to put as much time and effort into the design, but it's a solid design. It's a nice design. It doesn't look bad or anything like that. Taking a look at the front here, you have 4 5¼ inch bays, no 3½ inch bay, but I really don't know that many people that are still using those. All mesh design in the front, which will help with airflow. Behind this part of the mesh, you have 2 120mm intake fans. They do glow white, which you'll see later in the actual review. There's Corsair logo at the bottom, and then at the top you have your front panel connectors and buttons. You have a power button here, and then you have a small reset button, and this larger button is actually to turn the lights on the fans in the front on and off, which is a really nice feature. I know that annoys a lot of people, so it's nice that you can actually turn them off. As far as connections, you have 2 USB 3.0, front audio, and FireWire. It's really interesting that they didn't put even one USB 2.0, but I guess Corsair is looking to the future, and seeing as most new motherboards have USB 3.0, they just decided to go without USB 2.0 on the front. Now, taking a look at the top, the first thing that you notice about the top of the case is it actually comes up. For the reason behind that is actually there's a handle here, so I can actually pick up the case like this, no problem. I'll have to test and see actually when I put hardware in there if it's actually going to be that easy. But looking at the rest of the top here, if you can see in the video, there's another honeycomb section for fans or a top-mounted radiator. This will fit both 120 and 140mm fans. And looking at the side panel, it's the exact same. So you have another ventilation section, 120, 140mm fans. It does come with grommets too. So if you're using the larger 140mm fans, you just move the grommets to obviously the bigger hole. Taking a look at the back of the case, you can see the thing that really points out the most is the 4 water cooling holes. So this case is water cooling ready, obviously. You have another 120mm exhaust fan. It does have room for 140mm back here if that's what you want. Obviously, bottom mounted power supply. Now, if we take a look at the actual base here, you can see there's room for where your power supply would go. And then another fan, looks like, again, 120, 140mm fans. And you can see the feet here, they're a little different. They're not used to what we're seeing. They're actually plastic feet that are attached to the bottom with rubber on them. And you can see there is a removable fan filter here for the bottom 2 fans. Now, if we get inside, this should be fairly easy to get inside. Corsair is using the thumb screws that actually stay on the case. So when you take this off here, you can see that they're still on the case. Or on the side panel, I mean. Now, taking a look inside. All black interior, which we are used to seeing on mostly all systems these days. The biggest thing which I love about Corsair cases is their cable routing. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4 cable routing holes, all of which have the rubber inside them. So if you're putting cables through, they're obviously not going to rip or get stuck and get damaged on the case itself. The hard drive cage, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 slots, all of which have these trays, and these trays fit both 3.5 and 2.5 inch drives. And it looks like they're simple enough to go back in. The 4, 5 1/4 inch bays use a tool system, which this is actually the first time I've seen this tool system on a Corsair case. So as I said, check out the review in a couple of weeks and you will see how well these work. As far as the power supply, or where the power supply goes, there are 4 little rubber pieces that lift it off the bottom of the case. And all your PCI slots use thumb screws, obviously. And yeah, guys, that seems about it. As always, Bob Buster with ThinkComputers. If you like this video and if you like our unboxing videos, make sure you subscribe and check back in a couple weeks on ThinkComputers for the actual full review of this case. We'll catch you later.